Imagine your company has an excellent performance appraisal system. Sometimes they call it performance management system. Your company's PMS or PAS is talked about everywhere. Your HR manager goes and makes presentations in local and global forums about what a wonderful PMS you have. You work hard, you follow the system meticulously. You plan your performance through KRAs that were given by your organization and your seniors. You put in your best. Whenever you are in doubt, ask your seniors, seek their guidance. And you often want to have periodic performance feedback. Your senior may not be giving the feedback, but you insist on it, and once a 6-month period or at the end of the year, you have an ordinary discussion with your boss and he tells you that you are a good performer. He can't tell anything more than that, and he also says that he is satisfied with your performance, you have done your best, and he cites some good illustrations, and of course he gives you 1 or 2 suggestions for you to improve, and you are very happy and you are expecting, as mentioned or indicated by your boss, you are going to be at least recognized like your boss has recognized you as a good performer by your organization. You don't expect anything great from your company, you don't expect any great financial incentives and so on, but you would want at least to be told that you are a good performer, or you are a reasonably good performer, or even an outstanding performer. Even if that outstanding is reserved for some people, you would like to be told that you are certainly a good performer and recognize your performance. The year end comes and your name does not figure out in the list of the so-called good performers or outstanding performers. Who is a good performer? Who is an outstanding performer? These are the chaps who get a fat performance linked pay, or maybe 2 or 3 increments, or maybe their names are put up on the board. But you are told, you get a note saying that you are fitted somewhere into a normal curve, and you are not one among those 15 or 20 outstanding performers, because there can only be 15% of companies' performers rated as outstanding performers. You are fitted into the normal curve and you don't figure out anywhere, you are not very sure. You are told, since you are not an outstanding performer, and in any case you are not also a poor performer, you are not in the bottom 15 category, treat yourself as a good performer, which means an average performer. So you get disappointed, you get a feeling that after all the hard work, after all the initiative taken, after all the competencies you have applied, you are called as an average performer. And it's tragic. Most organizations, through the so-called application of forced distribution and normal probability, every year classify about 80 to 80% of their employees as average performers, or this is the communication that you give. And the moment you are classified as an average performer, your expectations about yourself comes down, your initiative comes down, and the Pygmalion phenomena starts working. If you are a great guy and you have accomplished a lot in the past, you will probably maintain your motivation and hard work for 1 more year, expecting it next year you will at least figure out in the outstanding performance. The story is repeated next year also. You are not one among the top 15% who are rated as outstanding performer. You know that you have done a marvelous job, but you are rated now as an average performer. You are disappointed, much more disappointed than last year. Your initiative comes down. You don't want to work anymore with the same kind of a rigor and vigor as you have done in the last 2 years. The disappointment that you have starts slowly taking in, and you don't feel like giving your best. Next year when you are rated not an outstanding performer, you are not surprised, because this is what you have expected. But in the meantime, you are searching for an alternative. You are searching for an organization which can recognize your hard work, your initiative, your performance planning, you're seeking feedback and things like that. This is how most companies lose good performers, by force fitting a small percentage as outstanding performers and treating most of the other people as average performers. 80 to 90% of the people or employees every year are treated as, classified as average performers, or at least that is the signal that they are given by not having any feedback, by not having a kind of a recognition system. Recently I have attended a HR World Congress which specializes in recognizing a large number of people. Somebody whispered to me that this HR World Congress this time, which ranged over about 3 days, has recognized about 1,700 people. And I happened to attend this and even distributed recognition certificates. I can see the gloom in their faces. In fact, it looked as though the 2,000 to 3,000 people who are attending the conference have come there mainly to get recognized. Somebody recognized, whether the person who recognized or the agency that recognized is globally known or not, it is a global organization with some 26 years of standing, and therefore people are happy to go there. And every time a person comes on the stage, hundreds of them coming on the stage, people clapping and then drums being beaten, you can see the glow on the faces of people. And immediately after that they put up their pictures of receiving the recognition certificate on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn and everywhere. People care for recognition. I think we need to recognize this and try to recognize every single employee for whatever contributions during the year, whenever they make a contribution. It is by recognizing continuously contributions of individual and saying a good word about them, it will make a lot of difference and make the person feel at that point of time he or she is an outstanding performer. So friends, if you are HR people, please revisit your performance appraisal system. If you are line managers, please spend more time recognizing and constantly reinforcing good things done by your employees rather than waiting for that annual outstanding performers list. I think the annual outstanding performers list and forced distribution have done a lot of damage to egos of many hardworking and competent individuals. I hope we don't make this mistake again. Many corporations after 15, 20, 30 years of experience are now realizing what a mistake they have made of naming only some as outstanding performers and forgetting all the other outstanding performer. Every person in a year's period would have been an outstanding performer in some area or the other. And if he or she is not, it is our responsibility to make them outstanding in some sphere or not, at least for 1 out of the 365 days. When we do that, I think we create a totally new form of engagement in organizations. All the best from TVRLS. Hope these messages will mean something to you and you will make everyone an outstanding performer in your company.